All right, here we are in a beautiful Pleasanton, California day out in the hills here. Very nice setting, very nice property, and a nice collection. What we have here is a 1940 Mercury 8 convertible. Nice history on this car. We have documentation and registration that proves it. This car was owned for more than 20 years, or around 20 years, by Jim Hauser of the Manhattan Transfer. It was actually his personal car, you know, the boy from New York City. That song, I think it's Doo Wah Diddy, but look it up if you don't know. Very popular song way back when. It was purchased from his son, Basie Hauser, and so we have a copy of that registration to prove it, and that's who the gentleman purchased it from. It's resting on an older restoration. I'm going to say 10 plus years, partial restoration we'll call it. The car runs and drives just fine, but it wasn't completely restored. In other words, the top was left as it was. They went through and apparently rebuilt the engine and did some stuff to it. So it's the kind of car you're just going to do a little bit of tinkering with, or some tinkering, and maybe put a new canvas top on it. We'll do a little walk around. It's refinished in its original color. The firewall on the car we believe is original color to the car. If you hang on, we'll get to the engine compartment here, but we'll do a little walk around, and I believe they plated and did a lot of things. So kind of neat history, and Mercs are pretty hard to come by. Manhattan Transfer, you want to hear that playing on the radio of this old girl, that's for sure. Do a little Google search, and I think their website, you'll have to find it on the web there, but I think Manhattan Transfer still has a website out there. Anyway, fender skirts factory. This is an all steel car. Little tiny door ding right there, but we'll walk around and we'll kind of show you. I mean, the paint and finish on this car is very nice. I wouldn't change a thing on the car. We'll step back and let you take a look at it. Its overall presence is excellent. Its patina actually adds to the character of the car, and its history adds even a lot more. The registration prior to the current owner was Hollywood, California. We'll have copies of that at Spud's Garage, but we'll block out the address and things like that for purposes. So you'll do a little walk around here, go over the nose. It looks like they did a lot of plating on it. It's got nice bumperettes on it. It has some vintage fog lamps on it. Fog King, I don't know if they're original to the Merc or not, and they have some little patina and little dings on them, so on and so forth. It looks like they plated these eyebrows here, and there's still a little bit of pitting there. But overall, the finish on the car is very nice. But it's a 10 plus year old partial restoration. You can see the reflections in the fender here. There's a little bit of a prep spot here that you probably color sand that out. You really can't see it. I'm just being super picky, and there's really no reason to be picky. I wouldn't change a thing on this car, actually, like I said. You might want to put a new top on it. The top's been on it for years. You can see the reflections down the side of the car. They're very nice. It's a very straight body. We did have it up onto a lift prior to documenting it here. For instance, a little tiny chip right there. The top of the windshield here is very nice. A lot of things about the car are very nice. Just got good character, that's what I'd call it. Running boards, so on and so forth. Tires and wheels on it. Those tires are probably older white walls. You gotta love that Mercury trim on the wheels, the deluxe beehive style trim. This dash is, I believe, to be factory colors on these cars. They're a blue and a dark blue and a kind of a medium smoke blue. It looks like the dash has been refinished. We're going to call the radio is not working. We do know somebody that can convert those where you can hook up an iPod and so on and so forth. 3 on the tree, all Mercury stuff. Looks like LeBaron Bonney leather interior on it, but it's definitely leather, factory style. You can see the stitching on it and the leather texture in it. So it's definitely leather. A couple little minor flaws, a little color flaw right there. Back seat, they did put tan seat belts in it, kind of nice. You can see the material's a little older on the top. A little older, quite a bit older. So if you're going to use the top, you know, we can't tell on the door jambs, but it is a different finish time. But they've been finished before. You can see a little bit of a paint line right here on both door jambs. We do cover the floor pan's underneath the mats here further on down the video. But we're going to do this for the purpose of the walk around right now. Kind of show you the door jambs on it. But you know, what a cute driver. You don't see many Mercs. And I'm sure you're not going to see any others that are previously owned by Jim Hauser of Manhattan Transfer, the founder of Manhattan Transfer. He owned this for about 20 years. Again, we have a registration proving that the Basie owned it prior to him. I mean, after him, his son. And it was passed on to his son, who sold it to this owner. And little tiny chip right there. Again, you can just pick it for little things if you want. Little minor door ding right there. It's not a paint break. You can just see the little bit of difference. So probably being in the garage, so on and so forth. All new bumperettes on the back of the car, just like the front. So the chrome's been redone. The plate from Basie is in the trunk of the car, 40 Deco. And that'll be proved by the registration that we'll have at spudsgarage.com. Step back and let you take a look at it from this side. Just a fun car. Again, I probably wouldn't change much on this car. I'd just gussy up a few things and so on and so forth. Factory skirts. I pointed out the little door ding right there already once. Factory fuel fill. Pretty much a non-modified body. Pretty much it is non-modified. Door handles don't sag at all. Couple door edge chips here. Little tiny door edge chip there. You know, we bring them to you as we see them. We enjoy doing what we do. It's always fun touching a car like this. It's got some history. A little tiny bit of entry wear right there. So, you know, it was used after it was restored, obviously. Seat belts, front and rear. Looking here, we're going to say this probably has a power top, but we're not going to try and use it. Or do I know where the switch is? We will clarify that at Spud's Garage to the best of our ability. But yeah, I love it. All factory. The steering wheel is a lot different on a Merc than it is on a Ford. If you look at a 40 Ford, the column's kind of neat. The on-off switch is right down here on the bottom. The steering lock's here, and this is where you turn it on and on. We've already fired up and driven it, and we'll have video of it running for you. Looks like they chromed the garnish moldings on the doors here and in the windshield area. Miles at the time of inspection are 80,996. We'll fire it up and see what gauges work and don't work, but again, just a little bit of tinkering. This is a nice little car. Factory radio, again, the conversions on those are pretty easy. He's missing the ashtray as part of the restoration. It didn't come back with it. So anyway, I'm sure that you can find these. If we can locate one, we'll let you know. But it should be an easy fix, not a big deal to find. We're gonna fire this old girl up. We actually will have a video of that too. So we turn the column on the bottom of the switch here. On the bottom of the column, the switch on the bottom. Like the fuel gauge is going up, oil pressure gauge is going up, starts right up. Battery gauge is going up. Temp gauge is, we haven't run it very long this morning. In fact, when you see it run here, we actually took a tape of that. You'll see condensation coming out of the pipe, which is just water condensation. It's not smoke. The car runs just fine. Nice little sunshade that they have here over the gauges. Yeah, I didn't, you know, radio wise, I'm not going to even call it for working because it didn't turn on there. Anyway, factory clock. There's a whole list of stuff here on how to start this car as far as how you work a Merc. Anyway, we're going to hop out, let you hear it run for a second here. Oil pressure is very nice, gauge half. Looks like all the gauges are working on the car. You gotta love those speedometers in these Mercs. Get out here. Again, it's kind of a little moist air, so you're looking at condensation and water in the pipe. As soon as that burned off, it'd be just fine. Anyway, we're thinking it's about time for you to get in, but make sure you hang on to the end of the video. You got to dig cars like this. A lot of fun. I'm telling you to get in right now. When you're all done with the video, go to Spud's Garage. Let's take a look underneath the hood here. All stock, as far as we know. The engines has been rebuilt. We'll actually run it here for you. We don't have any receipts to prove that or anything, but it runs like a little kitten. Started right up when we pulled it out of the barn here. Part of a collection. Firewall, we believe to be the original finish on the firewall, and it looks like it, so we know the original color of the car, which matches the exterior color currently. Cloth wiring throughout. It's an older restoration, so this wiring's probably been either updated or it's just an exact, well-preserved original. Stock, non-modified, single carb, cast heads, generator, 6-volt. Does have a heater in it, look at that. There's the heater line running off the lower hose. We probably already covered that in the interior. Bottom side of the hood here. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. Definitely the kind of car you can drive and take it to the next level. We appreciate you coming to Spud's Garage. You're on Spud's Garage YouTube. Factory 3-speed on the tree, I believe. All factory stuff. Factory rear diff. Go to spudsgarage.com. Again, hang on to the end of the video. Alright, as promised, we give you a little video of it running. You can just see it's just sitting there idling. Started right up for me. Nothing like a good running flatty, that's for sure. Walk back and give you a little sound of the exhaust. It's about 60 degrees here and it's a little chilly, so what you're seeing there is steam or condensation. Doesn't have any issues. As we mentioned earlier in the video, the top needs to be redone, but we thought we'd pull it up enough for you to see the canvas on it. Obviously been on there a few years, but it would work in a pinch. Looks good, everything's there, so on and so forth. But it would need new canvas. The rack looks good, so on and so forth. It does have a power top. We did not try and activate it. These early ones are temperamental anyway. But it would have come standard. Those looks like vacuum canisters, I believe what they are. Walk around to the other side here and kind of give you a feel. The well's nice. The rack's nice. See the back window there? Obviously when the top was up all those years, the window was down, but the glass looks good in the window. Easy to put a top on this. There's a high air or the cylinders. Anyway, we're thinking you get the idea. Something to work with there. Thanks for coming. Make sure you hang on to the end of the video. We'll peek here and tell you the floor pans on both sides. From both sides, you'll see here are very nice. All along the edge here. We'll lift up the driver's mat. Original mounts are right there. See the factory body color right there. In fact, the door jamb paint on this car appears to have been original or from a prior refinish. Firewall is for sure the original color. Alright, we'll look at it from the passenger side here, floor pans. You just saw the driver's side. Again, rock solid. You can see the mounts. There's no rust. California style car. Lift up the passenger side front here. Look at the mounts. In rock solid. There's the factory style wood there. All along here, very solid. Anyway, there you have it. All right, let's take a look at the trunk here. Give you an idea of the trunk and the floor pans and so on and so forth from the top side here. Looks like a car cover's included with her there. Had a 40 deco plate on it at one time. Tool well here is very nice, just like the rest of the floor pans on the car. Go to spudsgarage.com where we'll have undercarriage photos and so on and so forth. And of course we referred to other areas in the video. Prior to this anyway. Bottom of the deck lid. Now the door jambs and the firewall are original finish on this car. I'm thinking the back side of the deck lid's been painted here. Anyway, you get an idea. There you have it. Make sure you hang on to the end of the video. Thanks for coming to spudsgarage.com. Right, let's take a look at the undercarriage here and kind of give you a feel. We did have it up on a lift, but it was too dark inside to do the video. But we did take some still shots that we'll share with you at spudsgarage.com. All factory style. We did look at the floor pans. They're rock solid. Couple small areas replaced with Mercury parts right underneath the seat where the would have been like a wet carpet scenario. Trunk tool wells are awesome. You already saw that. We've already shared that with you. And we'll actually probably already shared some of the floor pans from the top side here. All factory, not modified. Great little driver kind of car. Kind of car you can easily take to the next level. Factory rear end, so on and so forth. Has all new exhaust on it. Runs good. Just kind of giving you a good feel. A little walk around here like we always do. You get to see what we see. We spend a limited amount of time with these cars, but when I say we, I say me. I know what I'm looking at. I would tell you, very solid car, honest car. Jim Hauser, Manhattan transfer, previous owned before. Apparently, rumor is he owned it for about 20 years. Anyway, you get the idea. There you go. Make sure you go to spudsgarage.com. We tried to cover as much as we could for you. You're on Spuds Garage YouTube. Have a